let's say we launched the campaign on November 1st, and now we're in January. The client comes back to us and says, all right, how are we performing? Talk to us about the metrics. So I pulled up an example sheet of data of November and December data. Now you're able to see data every single day. It's a live auction, so you could see it as frequently as you want. But it's so volatile and things change so quickly that a day-to-day change or even a week-to-week change doesn't really matter too much in the sense of tweaks that you need to make to the campaign or performance. So it's really good to look at a longer time frame. So looking at it at a monthly level or even a yearly or quarterly level is really good to analyze the data. So before I get into the example of what the client will really ask for and how to analyze this data, I want to talk about the metrics that you're going to see for a search advertising campaign. You'll see quite a few. So impressions are really views of the ad. So if your ad was served up on a SERP and a searcher saw the ad but didn't click on it, it's a view. If they clicked on the ad, that is a click. And when somebody clicks on an ad, that is when the advertiser spends the money, or the company spends the money for that ad. You don't spend money on just a view or an impression. You only spend it on a click. A cost is how much you've spent on advertising over the time period that you have. CPC. CPC is cost per click. So that is a calculation. It is the cost of something. So I'll take December divided by a click. That's it. So this price is the $1.71 is the average cost per click, average price you're paying for a click. Now, $1.71 just for one click might seem a lot, but there are quite a few companies out there who are willing to pay $50, even $100 for a click just to get somebody to the site without even buying something. All right, you have CTR next. CTR is click-through rate. This is also another conversion. And click-through rate is calculated by dividing clicks divided by impressions. And that's a percentage. So this percentage tells you how often your ads are being clicked. It's a really important metric because this really tells you how relevant you're being, right? If you have more clicks or a higher click-through rate, that means that your ads are more relevant and the searchers are finding you more relevant, so they're clicking on you more often. Now, don't be fooled by the fact that you have more clicks in December than in November, and you think that might be better because you're getting more people to the site. And yes, you are getting more people to the site. However, you're not as efficient at doing it based on the click-through rate because your click-through rate has decreased month over month. So it's better to have a higher click-through rate and to be efficient in getting people to the website, even if it's a lower number, because it's a more efficient rate at getting viewers on the site. The next three metrics are example conversions, right? So these are really the goals that a client of yours will want to strive for. So I gave three because they work their way down a funnel. So an engagement conversion, we'll just say, is at the top of the funnel. They're very simple conversions. They might lead to an end purchase, but they're at the top of the funnel. And let's say, for example, this engagement conversion is considered time on site. So let's say a conversion is triggered, an engagement conversion is triggered when somebody has been on the site for more than 2 minutes. So we call this a soft conversion because somebody is engaged with the site, but they're not buying necessarily, but they are obviously into your content. They just might not be ready to buy. So for this example, our engagement conversion is somebody who has been on the site for more than 2 minutes. Now, next we have a mid-level funnel conversion, which is a download conversion, for example. Now, this is somebody who, again, might not have converted in terms of buying something, but they are even more interested in the content than somebody who has just engaged with the site for more than 2 minutes. So they're interested in the content, they've downloaded what you have. It might be a white paper, it might be a spec sheet for a particular product, like with details. So this mid-level funnel is potentially more important to a client than the engagement conversion. Last, we have an order conversion, and that's simple. That's when somebody buys something, whether it's a product or a service. And that's usually the most important conversion to a client. Now, I won't get into the way these three conversions are tracked within Google and in the paid campaign, but just know that a client and an advertising agency set up specific conversions based on the goals of a client. And for the sake of the example, these are the three conversions that we have. The next three metrics are the same three conversions, but the rate in which they are converting. So an engagement rate, you're seeing how frequently they're converting. Engagement rate is a calculation where you divide, and I'll take December, your total engagements, which is people who have been on the site for more than 2 minutes, divided by the number of people who have actually been to the site, your clicks. So your engagement rate is a percentage, and it's 12.86 in December for this example. So that means 12.86% of the people who have been to the site through your ad campaign have converted in terms of an engagement. They've been on the site for more than 2 minutes. So they're showing that people who are at your site are interested in your content, but they might not be ready to buy yet. Same thing for download rate. It's the same exact calculation, but you use downloads divided by clicks. And same exact thing for orders. It's orders divided by clicks. Now, I was talking about the funnel, high-level conversion, mid-level funnel conversion, and low-level funnel conversion. Engagement is a softer, easier conversion. It's not necessarily somebody who is ready to buy. And then as you go down the funnel, you'll notice that the rate is much lower because you're weeding out the people who are not necessarily as interested, and then finally down to orders where you get the fewest number of people who are ordering, and that's just a natural progression in the way searchers search and our buying behavior.